Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Hare Krishna. Today we'll be discussing Bhagavad Gita as it is, chapter 2, text 70. Apuryamanam achala pratishtham samudramapah pravishanti yadvat tadvat kamayam pravishanti sarve sashantim apnoti nakamakami. So now Krishna, this beautiful verse, he explains how one attains Shanti. Because one might think, oh, by sense control, you are becoming Ashanti because you have to aspire for so many things that you like, but you are being restricted. So you're always feeling that vacant, you're yearning for things. So how is it Shanti? So Krishna explains beautifully here. Just like an ocean, apuryamanam achala pravishtham samudraha. The samudraha, ocean, it is constantly being filled. Apuryamanam, being filled with what? These rivers are coming and filling this ocean from all sides. So apuryamanam, but this ocean remains achala pratishtham, fixed up. The ocean remains steady, which is ever being filled but is always still. The ocean is always still. So achala pratishtham samudram apaha pravishanti, even though so many river waters are coming and joining. Yadvat tadvat, similarly, kamayah pravishanti, the desires keep entering one's consciousness. Sarve, that person who controls them, saha shantim apnoti, he attains peace, not kamakami, one who tries to fulfill all those desires. So that means, Prabhupada explains here, although the vast ocean is always filled with water, especially during the rainy season, being filled with much more water, but the ocean remains the same, steady. It is not agitated, nor does it cross beyond the limit of its brink. That is also true of a person fixed in Krishna consciousness. As long as one has the material body, the demands of the body for sense gratification will continue. So this is the important thing. Sometimes people ask a question. So when you become a pure devotee or liberated person, you won't get any thoughts, bad thoughts, sense gratificatory thoughts, any desires. The answer is no. You will get, because Prabhupada explains, as long as one has the material body, the demands of the body for sense gratification will continue. But the devotee, however, is not disturbed by such desires. Why? Very simply, Prabhupada answers, because of his fullness. Just like the ocean is full in itself, it does not actually need the help of the rivers to make it full, even though the rivers actually are disturbing. But because the ocean is full, the ocean doesn't require them. It accommodates them, but it just ignores it, remains steady. So a Krishna conscious man is not in need of anything because the Lord fulfills all his material necessities. So because of his fullness, how he is full? Because the Lord fulfills all his material necessities. Even material necessities the Lord fulfills. One should have strong faith in Krishna. Just by executing Krishna consciousness, all my material needs are also going to be fulfilled. Krishna will take care of it. This is called strong faith. Shraddha Shabde Vishwas ko hai Shuddrudha Nischay Krishna Bhakti Kaile Sarva Karma Krita hoy. So in Chaitanya Charitamrita, the author says, strong faith means Shraddha Shabde Vishwas ko hai Sudrudha Nischay. That Drudha Nischay has to be there. Strong conviction has to be there. What is that? That just by performing devotional service, Krishna Bhakti Kaile, it is the perfection of all my activities. Sarva Karma Krita hoy. Krishna promises in Bhagavad Gita, Ananyas Chintayanto Mam Ye Janah Paryupasate Tesham Nityabhiyuktanam Yogakshemam Vahamyaham. If one renders Ananyas Chintayanto Mam Paryupasate, worships Krishna, renders devotional service to Krishna without deviating, exclusively, Ananyas Chintayanto Mam Paryupasate, Tesham, for that people, Nityabhiyuktanam Yogakshemam Vahamyaham. Always I carry them what they lack and preserve what they have. Therefore, the devotee is full in himself. He is not even slightly disturbed by desires for sense gratification. That is the proof of a Krishna conscious man. So this is the proof. If somebody asks, so what is the proof that you have become Krishna conscious? Or what is the proof that somebody is a Krishna conscious pure devotee? This is the proof. One who has lost all inclinations for material sense gratification, although the desires are present. This is important. Again, Prabhupada is stressing. It's not that the desires will stop. The desires will keep coming. But one who has lost all inclinations for material sense gratification. Because he is full in himself, Krishna takes care of him. He remains satisfied in the transcendental loving service of the Lord. He can remain steady like the ocean and therefore enjoy full peace. So there was this, in the college, there were a group of students. So they had some kind of a competition where they wanted to test who can withstand the allurements of different eatables. So they called different people. They all participated. And one student won. He's known to be a foodie and he's known to be not self-controlled. He's fat and all of that. The least of the people that they expected to win, he won. And so they called him after that and they asked him, how were you able to control all these things? All your favorite things were placed. Nobody was able to control. And he simply said, before participating, I took all these things, I understood all these things that were going to be served. I took a happy full meal up to my brim, up to my neck. So I was not even the least bit interested in any of these things. It's a simple fact. If we have a nice meal, any nice thing you give, you won't feel like taking, isn't it? Your favorite sweet, you already ate full. You won't even have any inclination to eat it. Why? Because you are already full. The same example. One who is full in Krishna consciousness, one who is, because he remains satisfied in the transcendental loving service of the Lord, he can remain steady like the ocean, therefore enjoy full peace. He is fully peaceful. Okay, let people eat whatever they want. You can bring whatever item you want. I'm not going to be attracted because I am full. Others, however, who fulfill desires even up to the limit of liberation, what to speak of material success, never attain peace. So others means not the devotees, the karmis, gnanis, yogis. The karmis are always aspiring to enjoy sense gratification in all kinds of ways, even trying to go to the higher planets, go to Swargaloka and enjoy the senses. The gnanis, they become frustrated they understand the sense gratificatory business is frustrating, the body is a lost cause. They want to become liberated and become one with God so you can enjoy everything. They don't want to serve God but want to become God. That is also a desire. And yogis, they want some powers, yogic powers, in exchange of sense control so they can show off. So all these people, karmis, gnanis, yogis, they will never attain peace because they want something. Only a devotee, Krishna Bhakta Nishkama Atayeva Shanta. Only a devotee, Krishna Bhakta, because he is a Nishkama, he does not want anything for himself. Krishna provides everything he wants. For himself, he is happy serving the Lord. Therefore, he is Nishkama. Atayeva Shanta. All others, Bhukti, Mukti, Siddhi, they are all Kamis. Sakali Ashanta. So this is the formula. If you want to remain peaceful, you have to become a devotee, Nishkama devotee, not just an ordinary devotee. Of course, Krishna encourages. Even if you come to me seeking something, you are still a Udara, a magnanimous soul. Udaraha sarva evaite. Krishna says in 7th chapter. Chaturvidha bhajante mam jana sukruti no arjuna arto jigna surardharthi gnani cha bharatarshabha. People who come to Krishna desiring to get rid of their distress or desiring wealth or being inquisitive or looking for knowledge of the absolute truth. All these four kinds of people come in exchange for something which is not pure devotional service. But Krishna says, because they came to me, eventually they will all become pure. So, Udaraha sarva evaite. So even if you go to Krishna seeking something, eventually you will attain that state of complete peace. But others, because they are not approaching the right person, they are not approaching the right thing for peace, they will never attain peace. The other thing you can, from this, I try to explain, I was telling some other person recently that the one good example that people like to relate to is this game of cricket. So there was this one player, famous player in cricket. So they won the match and there was an interview of him after he won the man of the match. So they were asking, people were expecting you to hit the sixes. But we saw that eventually you didn't hit many sixes, hardly one or two you hit. So why is that? Even though you had the capability. So interestingly, he said, it is not what people want from me, it is what my team wants from me I should be doing. Everybody has his own wish. They will come and say, you should hit a six. Somebody will come and say, you should hit a boundary. Somebody else will come and say, target this bowler. Somebody will come and say something else. So people are all giving different ideas. They all have different desires. They are bombarding. But if I am fixated on my goal, my team, what my team wants from me, my team wants me to stay there and until the end, I should not be taking a risk by trying to go for a six. And because I became fixated on that goal, I did not get carried away by any of this. So, like that, a devotee becomes fixated on Krishna. He is not carried away by any of these desires. I remember one advertisement, very interesting advertisement that can be very instructive for us. So, a person, a youngster, is drinking a soft drink, and then he's happily sitting and drinking a soft drink in a cafeteria, and then his friend comes. Hey, what are you doing? He's saying, you know, I'm just relaxing and enjoying my drink. And this man, oh, you're wasting your time. You should go and work. People are all working hard. And then this youngster says happily, no, okay, you work hard, and what do you do? No, you work hard, you get promoted, you get a lot of money, and then what you do? No, you can buy cars, you can build your wealth, you can invest, and then what you do? You know, you can form your own company and you have a lot of leisure time. And then what you do? You can sit, relax, and enjoy a drink. And then he says, what am I doing now? Eventually, you're going to do the same I'm doing right now. Why do I have to do all of those things? So, likewise, a devotee of the Lord, from the beginning, he can attain peace. Even a neophyte. Because he knows Krishna is my ultimate shelter. We are not, constitutionally, we are not supposed to work hard. We are a happy jiva as long as we become dependent on Krishna. We give up ourselves to Krishna's protection. Just like a child is very happy, no anxiety, isn't it? The child don't has to pack his bags. A baby or a dependent baby doesn't have to pack his bag, doesn't worry about food, doesn't worry about earning, doesn't worry about maintaining credit cards, applying for credit cards or loans, taking care of his ticket, making sure it's secure. None of these things. He is happily playing. The mother is calling him and feeding him. He's going and happily playing. And everything is being taken care by the parents. So, likewise, the more we become dependent on Krishna, the more we become happier. Of course, people say, oh, this is like a slave mentality. Oh, you become dependent on somebody. Actually, they don't realize that the so-called independent mentality in this material world is the cause of all problems. You're actually not independent. Just like the other day I was saying, the dog is walking. The dog is thinking he is enjoying, but the owner is pulling the leash and the dog has to go wherever. So we are all dependent on Maya. The Maya is pulling us. We are thinking we are independent. Just like a person may think, oh, I'm independent of the government. I don't need to care for the government. I don't need to depend on the government. I don't need to pay the taxes. I don't obey. He's put in the jail, isn't it? He has to depend on the government for his food. He has to work hard in the jail. Unless he does that, he won't be given proper facilities. He'll be put into even more hard work. So that so-called independence is only illusion. We can never be independent. Just like a fish thinking, I don't need to be in the ocean. I can be outside and enjoy. See, people are all enjoying, having nice food, nice party, nice music, sunglasses, people on the beach. The fish will never be happy because its constitutional position is within the water. So the other example, the other thing we can learn from the ocean is how deep the ocean. On the surface, it might seem to be turbulent. Like You see, Prabhupada, he came to the West on a Jaladuta, the ship, cargo ship, not even a passenger ship. After a lot of struggle, he got that ticket to go to US on a cargo ship. And then he had severe seasickness. And the waves were turbulent. And the ocean was very rough, very, very rough. And he suffered 2 heart attacks. He didn't even realize that he was having a heart attack. And then he was thinking that he will die. He didn't have appetite to eat. He was nauseatic all the time. He was getting these vomiting sensations. He was vomiting and miserable feelings. Anybody who has seasickness, they can vouch to this. And he was 70 years old at the time. But he was depending on Krishna. And in the night, he got a dream that Krishna and his expansions, the Dashavatara, they were all rowing the boat, making it steady, the ship. And miraculously, the ocean became calm and they sailed smoothly. The captain even told him later, he has never seen such a calm voyage after that initial turbulence. It's because of Krishna's mercy. But anyway, the point is that the ocean might seem turbulent on the surface, but it is very, very deep, miles deep. And it is still and calm inside. So the consciousness of a pure devotee is like that. Sometimes the pure devotee externally might seem to be agitated, ambitious, angry even. But it is just the surface. And it is done for a purpose. Great sages become angry for a reason. To teach the others a strong instruction. To put them on the right path. Everything has its use for Krishna. Even anger has its use. Ambition has its use. Desire has its use. Ambarish Maharaj, he desired everything for Krishna. He went after everything and got the best for Krishna. So one should not mistake the external turbulence. Like in Chaitanya Charitamrita, we see Raga Pandit, one great devotee. When we went to Mayapur, we visited Panihati, near which his house is there. It's a beautiful house. So Raga Pandit is famous for offering the Lord the best of things. He would get the best fruits, best coconuts, even though it would cost 10 times more. He would send his servants to the markets, to the gardens and these things miles and miles away and spend a lot of money. He would bring them, offer the best of things, almost like a fanatic. And even little bit of dust falls, he would discard that. So like that, a devotee might seem very ambitious to achieve for Krishna, very angry sometimes. Like Prabhupada was very angry one time during the initiation ceremony. He didn't care. There were, photographers, media, everybody was watching, videographing. He didn't care one bit. He wanted to teach them a lesson. He became very angry. But later on, when the devotees went and approached, he was very calm and grave like the ocean inside. They asked him, how is the consciousness of a pure devotee? He said, it's like an ocean, very deep, very grave. You cannot understand what is going on inside just because there are turbulences outside. So we need to be like that, grave and full of Krishna consciousness inside. Of course, externally also, we should try to become as grave as we can. But occasionally, when needed, we have to exhibit these things. Our ambition, our desire, our anger has to be used. Kama Krishna Karma Arpane, Krodha bhakta dveshi jane. We have to use our kama, our desires, to achieve the desires of Krishna. Our krodha to exhibit on those who are blasphemers of Krishna and his devotees. Like this. This is another beautiful instruction we can learn from this ocean. And finally, the ocean also represents Karuna Sindhu. Just like the ocean is, just like Krishna is an ocean of mercy, the ocean also represents the mercy. And the devotee is like a cloud that draws the mercy, just like the cloud draws the ocean water and distributes rain to everybody. So a devotee should be the representative of Krishna's mercy. We say, Hey Krishna Karuna Sindhu, Dina Bandho Jagatpate, Gopesha Gopika Kanta, Radha Kanta Namostute. Krishna is Karuna Sindhu. A devotee also, if he becomes a pure representative of Krishna, he also becomes Karuna Sindhu. One devotee was telling how he became a devotee in college. And in those days, in our times and even before, there was ragging. So he would, in the initial days, of course, he would call his juniors who joined. He would start like ragging. He would ask, "Hey, do you know who is God?" All these kind of questions. And then they either give the right answer or wrong answer. He will take them aside and start to preach about Krishna. So like that, many of them became devotees of Krishna. So in this way, of course, this is just one example. A devotee, he gives Krishna. It's like the cloud gives the ocean water by distributing the rain. We take the ocean water and distribute. We take Krishna, when we become full, we give it to everybody. I'll stop here. Anybody has any questions or comments? Feel free to unmute yourself. Bhagavad Gita as it is ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Nitai Gaur Premanande, Hari Hari Bol, Hare Krishna.